everybody, Texas Trucker here, Lance's Performance Shop, LoneStarMopars.com. Apologizing, my voice cuts out. We've done 3 of these now. This is number 3. This is KC Tool Haul number 13. If I still sound super excited, it's because I am, and we have landed some really cool stuff. So first off, for those of you curious, as of placing this order, this is Flag Day, June 14th, it came in and we're unboxing it today. Still the same Wera spring flyer. Some things never change. And as always, KC Tools, spend $50, free shipping. Spend $100, free sticker pack. We've showcased that many times. And with every single order, you acquire a bit of things. Used to be Philo number 2s. This time around, they've partnered with Wiha. And in this case, we have acquired Wiha part number 74143. This is a number 3 Phillips by 50 millimeters, so it's about double length, extra long, power bit, whatever you want to call it. Phillips Dura power bit, style 24 of 24. The end of the rainbow is achievable. It's not just some black hole in space. There is truly a 24 of 24. Link down below in the video description will take you to a forum link where I am documenting and describing every single one of those suckers. And if you've got anything to add to it, feel free. Slowly but surely, we will hopefully acquire the full set. I know many of you have the same noble endeavor. Now, with that said, why did I order this time? Well, this is not long after the other 2 orders, actually. But this one was a super find. This is something I've wanted longer than the Hazette 916 HP, and it finally, not only was it on sale for Father's Day, but it then became tool of the day, and it turned into just a stupid good deal. And ultimately what I'm referencing is, of course, from Stahlwille. It's their part number ST 121111020, or as many of you will know it, the 435 QRN. That is a quick release QR. It's fine tooth. It's 3/8 drive. That tells you everything. And here it is. Oh, what a troll I am. This is just the bag, but right there is all your pertinent information. This is my first time having it in hand, and I'm pretty excited. This is it. This is their premium ratchet, I guess you would say. Now, I had read online in reviews that people that had this, it was particularly their 1/2 inch, which is what I wanted to do. My initial plan, I wanted to go 1/4 inch Wera, 1/2 inch Stahlwille, and that kind of got screwed around by tool of the day because I got a super good deal on a 1/4 drive Stahlwille, if you remember seeing one. Didn't have the comfort handle, it was just standard metallic finish. And the truth is, I love that little thing. It's become my go-to 1/4 drive ratchet. And that is how I was kind of almost to pull the trigger. I was holding out hope that this became tool of the day. I've been monitoring the site. I've seen so many of the Father's Day items get listed as tool of the day. I held out. Again, like I said, this was just earlier this week, the 11th or 12th, that this was listed Father's Day, and it would be a week away from that point, basically. And I landed it, got a super good price, super glad I waited. $69.99 plus a discount's what I paid. This thing's typically $139. For Father's Day, it was on sale for $111. So we kind of got this for like half price, $69 and $139, roughly 50% off. And I felt like for $69, I could not go wrong with this sucker. So, gonna be similar design and construction to our 1/4 drive that you should be familiar with from past videos. Nice stamping there, selector switch, very easy to articulate. It's not as aggressive or locked down as the Wera and Hazette. Some people prefer that, some people don't. I don't think you're going to accidentally switch directions very frequently with this one. It's not like it protrudes or anything vertically or past the scope of the ratchet. Right here, quick release. Does it engage well? I would say so. Let me kind of bring this up where you can see it a little bit better with my dirty finger back there. Should be fine. Now, right here, where I saw the bad news on this, they were a machinist, and I'm like, well, I'm a machinist too, you know, and I'm thinking what they probably did is use cheater bars on it, and I could see that eating this up because it does feel soft. Again, I've never had any of their soft-handled ratchets before, so this is my first experience with it, but basically we've got the hard plastic here for the branding with Stahlwille, and then you've just got like a relatively soft rubber. It's not I say soft, it's, you know, kind of more akin to like Wiha Soft Finish, but with a more tactical feel, I guess is how I would describe it. So it's not like we're going to tear through it, or it's just gel cushioned comfort. It's just soft, and you know, you can get a good grip on it, evidenced here. So I don't know that I would advise using a cheater bar on it. Maybe that will avoid the issues, but my thoughts were, if it's a common issue, if this really does get chewed up just from regular use or a chemical I get on it or something, I'm still going to love what's underneath it. Assuming that it would just be the matte chrome handle, I could probably polish it, sand it, whatever I need to do, get adhesive off of it if this just gets chewed away to nothing. I don't think that's going to happen. But man, it feels really good in hand. I don't know if you can hear it. Ready? It's such a smooth, this is like the closest to Nipros that I've had. The Hazette felt pretty good. I haven't gotten to use it yet. That's what I'm going to do after this, if there's still daylight. Go tighten some lag screws in the fence. But super clean construction. Again, it's the same type of a deal. You know, you don't have your traditional screws some of you like. You've got a clip in the front. But right there on the quick release, you can kind of see it come up. I'm pretty excited about this guy. Don't want to spend a ton of time on it because, again, we've got a lot to get to, but that's something I've wanted for a really, really long time. Super stoked to have gotten it on Tool of the Day and on a sale with a discount. So, right here, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this one. This is Stahlwille ST7709010, or if you just want to type in 12377, brass-coated steel wire brush. Now, if you're thinking, hey, that looks really familiar, man. Well, it should, because I brought one in a while back. And these, if you're wanting to get into Stahlwille, this is a good entry point because it's so affordable. $5.76. You could walk into AutoZone and struggle to get a brass brush for that price. This particularly for their handle. I know it kind of looks funky to you. It is super comfortable. And again, the fact is, a wood handle in this case, not necessarily ideal because you wouldn't have the width. With this being, you know, the design it is, you don't have it spread out like you would with a typical, you know, wire brush. This works really, really nice on brake calipers. That's why I'm getting another one, because I've been using it on the others. I've also used it for some stuff I probably shouldn't have, but I didn't want to use something as aggressive as a typical steel wire brush. So we kind of went this route with a softer material. Bottom line, I was happy with it, and at $5.76, that's just a really good price. I mean, that's kind of, I can't get to and from Harbor Freight at that price point, you know, to land something. So, message from my nephew there real quick. That was our Stahlwille portion of the video. And I think what we're going to jump into now is from Wiha. That is right, no KC tool haul is really complete without a Wiha product. And this is something I've wanted for a long time, and it's actually just been out of stock like every time I order, so I just keep it off. And what it is part number 31191. Set me back $13.04. It's slightly cheaper than if you go direct from Wiha. That's right. What are those adorable little guys? Well, they are the Stubbies, the soft finish Stubbies. They've got several configurations of these, actually. This one is a 1/4 inch slotted and a number 2 Phillips. They package a number 1 and a number 2 Phillips, and then I think a 1/4 and a, don't hold me to the other size, it would probably be 3/16 or 5/16. Could be mistaken. But this is just something I've wanted to bring in. I've invested pretty heavily in the soft finish line, and I wanted to give the Stubbies a shot, see what they're made out of. And I gotta say, I know how the tips are going to perform, so that's going to be good. But right there, kind of a cool feature for our particular Wiha or KC tool screwdriver stands. If you stand them up, tool roll, whatever it might be, these are actually going to be branded. And of course they've got it there. They feel really good in hand, I have to say. I was kind of always concerned about the Stubbies because you don't know what you're getting exactly. But this one's fat enough that I think I'm going to have a good time with it. So it's about all she wrote on that one. Again, eventually we might, if we acquire more Stubbies, we'll do something just to make it worth your while here. The Philo, which I brought this one in because it was the shortest Stubby I could find at the time. Is the Wiha shorter? The Wiha is shorter. Shaft length. I must have been going by overall length, but I thought I factored in the shaft. But the Philo is touching down right there on the Wiha, and the Wiha cannot touch down on the Philo. Actually, it can hit the inside ring right there if you kind of see that step in the plastic. So they're very similar. We'll go into more detail on that at a later date and time, but adorable little stubbies. What more could one ask for, right? Main thing there again is I know the bit quality. I'm also going to try to get this done really fast because I'm losing my voice. Let's jump into Wera. I've told you my plans. I want to highlight the different handle styles, see how the tips perform. And with Wera, we had that one I brought in, I think in Tool Haul 11, that I said was like their bottom of the line, baseline, plain Jane. With Wera, I brought in like a, can't remember if it was a 6-inch or an 8-inch, might have been 6-inch. And for my testing, I wanted to have 100mm or 4-inch shafts. This is a number 2 Phillips. This is our Kraftform Plus, which again, their stuff significantly overlaps. Case in point, this is Wera's part number 008720, which is fine, but their description past number 2 100mm is Kraftform Plus Phillips screwdriver. So you're like, okay, what's the big deal? It's the Kraftform Plus. It's probably plus because it's better than that other one. And it does have the laser tip, by the way, unlike the cheapest one. If you step up and you spend $11.96, just about, a little over $1 more, part number 008572, you get Phillips number 2 by 100mm Kraftform Plus Phillips screwdriver. It's the exact same thing. There's not another plus. I'll go ahead and I'll show you. Number 2 Phillips looks exactly the same. You got the laser tip. What's the catch though? Put them side by side, you can tell. Cylindrical hex. It's got the hex bolster, essentially, is what the difference is. Not striking cap. That would jump up to the chisel driver, which we've got. But that right there, that is kind of the bread and butter, and those are both Kraftform Plus. In my opinion, just as a casual observer, I would advise different terminology there. Kraftform, which we had, which I won't bring out yet, but plain Jane, no laser tip, Kraftform. This is Kraftform Plus. If this was Kraftform Plus heavy duty, or a Kraftform Hex, or whatever, just don't call it the exact same thing. Part numbers aside, they have the exact same description there. And that's going to be sad, for a lot of people. But again, we will cover all of that in much greater detail later. This one I think some of you will be excited about though, and I personally feel like it's a really good price. What I have in my hand is one of Wera's VDE insulated screwdrivers. It's part number WR022734. Set me back $13.65. And as it drops into the picture, some of you are like, wait, that should be yellow. Right? What's the deal, man? Does it have a laser tip? It does. It has the laser tip. But here's the catch, ladies and gentlemen. This is stainless steel. This is a number 2 Phillips 4-inch 100mm stainless steel screwdriver, insulated, for $13.65. That was just, truth be told, I can't think of a scenario where I would be using that electrically. Not even at work would I mandate. Maybe it would have to be a special order for someone. But what I'm going to be doing with it is just, I get in so many times with clamps, gear clamps. You'll say you want stainless, and what people don't ever realize is they'll either give you a stainless steel screw or a stainless steel band, but rarely will they give you both, the band and the screw. Totally makes no sense to me why you would pair different materials that are going to be incompatible with one another in a harsh, toxic, or underwater environment. So, while this is insulated, I think it might have actually been priced 30 cents less than the non-insulated version, which is crazy. Shouldn't be that way, you wouldn't think, but I'm not going to argue with it. I'm going to take advantage of it is what I'm going to do. So, very, very slim chances I would ever use this as an electrical application, particularly at home. I don't think it will ever happen. Could be wrong, you never know. But I will be using it for stainless steel clamps, and that way I don't contaminate the screw. Long story, stainless is a very touchy metal. It's awesome. It's very hard to machine. The worst thing about stainless, if you've never machined it, typically you come through, you cut cold roll, hot roll, stress proof, whatever. When stuff is hot, you see it. With stainless, the chips always look the same, and that's very deceiving. Ask me how I know. But that's basically what I'll be using that for, is just, honest to gosh, stainless steel worm gear clamps. So $13.65, I felt like it was a worthwhile acquisition. Let's see here. We've got kind of another odd end here. This one when I brought in, it was on the Father's Day special. KC Tool will be happy. We're got the free t-shirt. I don't know if they do free t-shirts anymore. I think that, I don't know if it was $200 got you that or something. I don't know. They probably throw them in every once in a while. But this is a New Era 39 cap. It felt good. I had it on my head. That's why I couldn't find it. I got the large, extra large. Fits very nicely. I don't really like super tight hats, although you kind of need it here where I'm at because the wind will take it away from you without mercy, regardless of who you are or what type of hat it is. It's a mesh back, but it's kind of a higher quality. It's not just super thin. You can kind of see that inner layer. This is like mesh shorts. You know, back in the day, mesh was mesh, and you could like see through it, and then somebody was like, oh, we need to add something to that. That's kind of what they have here, and putting it on, you can't see it, but it's a nice hat. And what I paid for that was $21.25. They've got another one that is not fitted, which again, I don't know if you saw, but this one is. They've got, I think, a snapback that's kind of a more traditional material. It might actually, don't know if it costs more or less, but KTC HM LXL is a part, $21.25. Again, Dad 15 for Father's Day. Saved a little bit off of that. It's kind of something I'd been monitoring for a while. And truth be told, I got sunburned really bad. And this is about a month ago now. And I brought in like a Mopar trucker hat. And it actually worked really well, and I wasn't getting like super hot. That's why I don't wear hats at work very often, because you get just like an extra 20 degrees added to your body temperature. And the trucker hat was on sale for like $9 at Summit, and I was like, screw it. It's gonna get filthy and trashed. I don't care. And significantly more breathable than what I'd been wearing. So now I'm kind of going this route with my life. But that is that. Now, are we done? No, we are not. Wiha, granted, KC Tool, I should say, recently tweeted this. I'm not sure. This video is probably a while out because I release one a week, and I try to just not have everything be a tool haul. We try to showcase and do some stuff in between. But what I have here, they've recently announced they've expanded their Heyco line. I think Wiha owns Heyco. Don't hold me to that. Shouldn't even say because I'm not 100% sure, and I'm not going to look it up. But HY 4-100-100. This is a combination wrench. This is 10mm, and it's kind of interesting. It's got the it's their Maxline is what they call it. The price on it was, I felt, pretty reasonable, $844. It seems to be a quality wrench. This is my first experience with Heyco stuff, and it looks good. It's made in Germany. It's got the box end here, which is going to be fine. It's offset, which will be really nice for me. And then just kind of the plain Jane business end. So eventually we'll probably compare and contrast. I felt like the 10mm would be a good starting point, and this was the one that I clicked on. I think I clicked on 2, and I saw this one was offset. I picked it mainly for the bottom end belly pan stuff on late model Mopars. All that stuff is a 10mm bolt. For everyone that complains that I do old cars and use Imperial or Standard or whatever you want to call it, SAE, mean descriptive words that I can't repeat on the channel because I try to keep it family kid friendly. I do use metric when I have to, and the Challenger is a late model and it is metric, and the bottom belly pan I need 10mm stuff, and this I thought would come in pretty handy for that. So that's actually where I've been using the quarter drive Stahlwille a lot, and that's how I've been taking that belly pan off a lot for a bunch of stuff I've been doing. So this sucker I'm going to put through the paces there, but I gotta say, in hand it feels good, and we'll kind of compare and contrast, see how we like it with some usage under its belt. Now, as my voice is totally dissipating, I have one more item from Heyco. This is their part number 3705340. Love 340, great little engine. Costs $9.91, so I know what you're saying. You're like, okay, hey, you got the 10 and you're doing this metric thing now. We're so proud of you. You must have bought the 13mm, right? That's about the price increase you would expect to pay. Well, my friends, that is not the case. In fact, this is SAE, and you're like, wait, okay, so what? You got a, what, 9/16 or 5/8 for that price, maybe? Nope. I got this, and I'm going to throw it down so you can't read it. This looks like a novelty, but I think it's going to have some practicality. What this is, it's a keychain, and it's got wrenches. And the first thing off the top of my head that I would use this for, in a pinch, if this was actually on a keychain or in a box in a car, 7/16 would be quarter, right? And that would be battery terminal lugs. So this would serve a very distinct purpose. I think they ought to make this in a slightly bigger set. But we've got 7/16, 11/32, 3/8, 5/16. These are, truth be told, the sizes I will use by far the most. But coming down from there, we've got 9/32, quarter, 7/32, and 3/16. So this seems kind of dorky, kind of strange, kind of novelty, but it would be great in a car. It would be great in a car toolbox. You know, granted, I would not want anyone to have to do a significant amount of work with these, but for like simple things, just tightening something down, it's on the line with that crud you get in, like, you know, furniture, or I think this came from a cheap weed eater I had to fix for somebody. They give you poor hex keys and they give you these flat, nasty little wrenches. And I tell you what, these can take that place. But the other thing, let's say that, you know, you're off and you're working on something and you're like, okay, what size is this? I don't know. I can usually eyeball it, but for whatever reason, I don't know what this is. And they do have this in metric, so don't worry. But if you're like, okay, geez, is this, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8 millimeter? I don't know. It's not 10. It's smaller than 10, and I don't know what size it is. You could literally have this clipped to you on like a lanyard or a little clip. It's super lightweight, and you can just slide around until you find the size that fits, sort of like a key type of a deal. Those are my two obvious uses, but I thought, you know what, that actually looks pretty cool, and I could see myself using that. So I brought it in, and I didn't want to bring in a bunch of them, or the metric set too, because I wanted to make sure I was okay with it and didn't hate it and felt like I was ripped off, and I don't. It's kind of a little novelty. I think this would be a great gift too, in all honesty. I mean, this should be in the Father's Day section. You could get SAE and metric for like 20 bucks. I don't know anybody that wouldn't appreciate that. And again, if you wanted to, you could use it, although I would advise against it. Particularly, again, really nice wrench here for $8.44, less than this. But that's not all, ladies and gentlemen. On the back side, I've been hiding from you. Oh yes, we've got actually a pretty nice file. I don't know that that's gonna showcase well on the camera, but that's cool. I think that's a feeler gauge of a predetermined size. I don't know what it is though, and I don't see it stamped. And then you just kind of got like a contact key. And, for under 10 bucks, you know, could you do it maybe for $7.50 and feel better? Yeah. $5, I kind of see it as a more prestigious than that price point. But bottom line, this seemed cool, and now that I have it, it is cool, and I think I'm actually going to get some use out of it. So let me know if you had this. Let's say you didn't have to buy it, it was given to you. What would you do with it? Would it be something you keep handy on your workbench or your workstation, and you check size on things that you're not sure what they are just for the convenience, and then you go and grab your socket or your wrench or whatever you need? Or is it a scenario where you're like, okay, hey, I'm throwing that in the car? Or would you keep it clipped to you at all times because it's just that handy? Let me know. I'm very curious what everyone thinks of this. But with that said, we got our Wiha stubbies. We got our first ever Heyco products. We got a brand new brass bristled brush, which again, Stahlwille, you would think, man, that's probably $30 brush, you idiot. Nope, $5. Can't complain about it. Super good deal on a ratchet I've wanted for a super long time. Basically ever since I went to KC Tool, I was like, I would like to try that. And finally, over a year later, it's happened, so I'm stoked about that. Again, patience is a virtue, and if it's not, it can at least save you some money. So it's got that going for it. We're working further towards accomplishing our goal of testing out screwdrivers, handle style comparisons, seeing how they each perform. It's gonna be a drawn out process, but I think it's gonna be worthwhile in the long run. We got a snazzy new hats, and I do believe that is everything she wrote for KC Tool Haul number 13. So with that, and we got adorable little stubbies. Let's just look at all this cuteness in one video. Yeah, I'll leave it at that, man. So let me know your thoughts on this, particularly if you've used any of it. If you've had this ratchet, if you've had any of their padded ratchets, whether it's quarter or half inch, have you had issues with this material, or has it held up fine for you? I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt, see what it does over time. Heyco wrenches, first time you're seeing or hearing of them, or is it something that you've actually brought in and enjoy? And that's about all she wrote for this one. So, as always, I thank you so very much for watching, particularly those of you that stuck out through the end or used the timestamps and just looked at what you wanted to. That's totally acceptable too. But, if you would like to support the channel, subscribe, tell your friends about it. That's all you got to do. You can ring the bell and jump through 3 flaming hoops, roll down a hill, and then successfully land the 69 Charger across Turtle Creek, and maybe they'll notify you when we upload a video. Now, it should be every Saturday, sometimes midweek if time allows. We're kind of stacking and packing them right now, so we'll see what happens. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. LoneStarMopars.com is the forum. Again, I've got the KC Tool bit link going by this point in time. You can kind of keep tabs on that. Any suggestions for testing the drivers, any you would like to see brought in, let me know your thoughts on any of that. And with that said, I'm going to quit rambling. I'm going to go get a drink of water and make my supper, work out, shower. I'm looking out the cracked garage door and it's getting dark, but I think I'm going to take my Hazette 916, possibly this guy, and spin a few lag screws, at least get the front section done. I can hit the rest of it tomorrow when I get back, but I'll be putting the fit shears into use tomorrow. I'm probably going to take the Hazette ratchet with me just in case I need it for something I'm putting together for my sister. And I will leave it at that. Got a busy day ahead of me, but I'm excited to get to use some new tools on it. So we'll see how those fit shears do. Pruning roses, I'm sure. That's why most of you purchase them, I'm sure, is to prune roses. So I will keep you posted on how they do. So, nonetheless, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys back here in the next one. Until then, adios.